Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your SmackDown and 205 live results. Week of, 3/7/17. Happy birthday goes to Killer Khan. The name of Masahiro Ozawa turned 70 years old. Sean Morley, formerly known as Val Venus, turned 46 years old. Mr. Anderson turned 41. Chad Wicks, who worked as Chad Tolan, and Chad Dick turned 39 years old. David Flair turned 38. Hercules Hernandez, real name of Ray Fernandez, died on March 6, 2004 at the age of 47 from heart disease. Bill Moody, who worked as Paul Bearer, and Percy Pringle, died of a heart attack at the age of 58 on March 5, 2013. Chris Crowbar Ford turned 43 years old on Saturday. WWE Performance Center trainer Sarah Stock turned 38 on Saturday. Dark main event that was advertised for, for Raw. We got the wrong one. Was Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns. AML Wrestling ran in Winston-Salem, North Carolina at the fairgrounds on February 28th with the following results. The reason why I'm giving results, former stars. The Heat Seekers of Sigmund and Elliot Russell defeated the Gymnasty Boys of White Mike and Timmy Lou Retton with Tommy Thomas. Darius Lockhart defeated Brandon Scott, C.W. Anderson, formerly of ECW, over Damian Wayne. Axton Ray defeated Jordan Kay to retain an AML Prestige Championship. The Geordie Bulldogs defeated the Dixon line of Ken Dixon and Joey Keys with Robert Locke to retain the AML tag titles. PJ Black, formerly of Justin Gabriel, WWE, defeated Caleb Conley. Zane Dawson with George South defeated King Shane Williams with Queen Taylor to win the AML Championship. Taped on March the 8th, 2017, Ring of Honor. No spoilers. Unknown date. Matt Taven, K.O. Ryan, and Vinny Marseglia defeated Kenny King, Rhett Titus, and Caprice Coleman for the Ring of Honor six-man tag titles. Kingpin, Brian Malonis defeated Raphael King in a top prospect tournament match. Adam Cole, Cody Rhodes, and the Young Bucks defeated Jay Briscoe, Mark Briscoe, Jay Lethal, and Bobby Fish. SmackDown opened up with a video package on the WWE title chase. Live from Indianapolis with Tom Phillips, JBL, Mauro Ronaldo, and David Otunga. We go right to the ring, and out comes SmackDown Commissioner Shane McMahon. SmackDown General Manager Daniel Bryan without following him. Shane welcomes us for a great big pop, and he's been dealing with WWE title controversy. Bryan believes that the title shot should go to Randy Orton. Shane believes AJ Styles also should get the shot. Bryan points out how he and Shane don't always agree. Bryan says it's tradition for the Royal Rumble winner to go on and face WWE champion at WrestleMania. Shane says that there's never been a Rumble winner to advocate their title shot like Orton did. He shows a replay from 2 weeks ago where Orton pledged allegiance to Wyatt. They talk about how AJ became #1 contender last week before Orton turned on Wyatt and declared that he was coming for him at WrestleMania 33. We see a replay of Orton setting fire to the Wyatt family compound. Bryan doesn't agree with Orton's actions, but because he won the Rumble, Bryan believes he deserves a spot at WrestleMania, but since he and Shane disagree, what should they do? Bryan and Shane ask again if the shot should go to Orton or Styles. It feels like they're just wasting their time here. Bryan finally hypes tonight's AJ versus Orton match to crown the #1 contender. Bryan then says it will be one of the most must-see SmackDown main events in history. A yes chant breaks out from the crowd as Bryan's music hit. Still to come segment, John Cena teams with girlfriend Nikki Bella for the first time. Go to commercial. Back from the break, AJ confronts the bosses backstage. They tell him to calm down, but he's he's tired of this AJ conspiracy. AJ says he's going to make the best of a bad situation and take out Orton. Styles says it will be on Shane and Bryan's hands. AJ says he's not afraid of a little fire of the Viper. He's certainly not afraid of Bryan and Shane. As AJ walks off. John Cena and Nikki Bella versus James Ellsworth and Carmella was up next. We go to the ring. James Ellsworth has a microphone. He says we're about to see a match that we will never see again. Ellsworth brags on his wins over AJ Styles and how many times it took John Cena to finally beat AJ. Ellsworth says that the man who puts the Mac and SmackDown is about to wipe the floor with Mr. Hustle, loyalty and respect. Ellsworth does an intro for his girl, and out comes Carmella. And then Cena's music hits next, and now he comes from a mixed reaction. Cena runs to the ring and hits the ropes. Nikki is out next. Nikki starts off with Carmella, but before they can lock up, the music hits, and out comes The Miz and Maurice. Everyone looks on, but Nikki turns around to a super kick from Carmella. Miz and Maurice laugh before heading over to commentary. We go to commercial. Back from the break. It looks like we'll finally get Cena and Ellsworth. Ellsworth is hesitant to come in. Carmella wants Ellsworth to be a man and fight Cena. She pushes him into Cena. Ellsworth goes for a super kick, but Cena catches his leg and slams him. Cena calls for the 5-knuckle shuffle, but Carmella stops him. Nikki runs over and drops Carmella. Cena hits a 5-knuckle shuffle on Ellsworth while Nikki hits one on Carmella. Cena hits the Attitude Adjustment while Nikki hits the Rack Attack 2.0. Cena applies the STF while Nikki applies the Fearless Lock for the win. After the match, Maurice and Miz pull Cena and Nikki from the ring and leave them laying at ringside. Miz takes the mic and says he couldn't take it anymore. Cena and Nikki are the true disrespect to anyone who appreciates true love. Miz says Cena is a liar and his relationship is one of the biggest lies ever. Miz spends hours every day with Maurice because he loves her, but asks if Cena says the same thing about Nikki. Miz says true love doesn't mean asking the other to sign a contract to be your girlfriend. Miz goes on about Cena being a liar and programmed like a robot. He says Cena finally found someone as money hungry as him. Miz says that their fake, plastic relationship often offends everyone else, but that stops now. Maurice tells Nikki to wake up and calls her a bitch before dropping the mic outside of the ring. Miz and Maurice hug as Miz music hits. Still to come segment, SmackDown's Women's Champion Alexa Bliss will give a dissertation and her WrestleMania opponent will be revealed. Renee Young is backstage, knocking on Randy Orton's door. She asks about the fire last week. Orton says he burnt the compound down to the ground, and if he's capable of that, what could AJ have in store later tonight? Orton says no one will stop him from facing Wyatt at WrestleMania. He says AJ is phenomenal, but he's one RKO away from headlining WrestleMania. Orton says AJ should be very afraid, and if he were AJ, he'd probably just run. That's a commercial. They talked about the Rick Rude going into the WWE Hall of Fame. Advertised from Raw. So, back from the break, Kurt Hawkins says Dean Ambrose started something last week that he couldn't finish. Hawkins calls Ambrose out. His music hits, and here comes Intercontinental Champion. He drops Hawkins at ringside and hits the ring. Ambrose says he was going to call Baron Corbin out, but he's in the back doing what he does. The feed freezes and comes back to Corbin on the big screen. He can't understand why Ambrose is in a hurry to get his beaten. He tells Ambrose to enjoy it while he can because when he's ready, he's taking everything from Ambrose, including the title. Ambrose then says, since Corbin won't go to him, he'll go looking for Corbin. Ambrose leaves the ring, but Hawkins grabs him. Ambrose drops Hawkins with dirty deeds on the floor and heads to the back. Announcers lead us to the Women's History Month video on WWE Hall of Famers Trish Stratus and Lita. Ambrose is shown backstage looking for Corbin. Back from the break, and they plug John Cena hosting the Kids' Choice Awards this weekend. Ambrose is backstage looking for Corbin again. Joshua Fentez is backstage with Mojo Rawley, who has an announcement. Mojo says he will be in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal at WrestleMania 33. Mojo is looking to make his WrestleMania moment. Dolph Ziggler walks up and mocks him. Ziggler says you have to earn your WrestleMania moment. Mojo asks if that's why Ziggler doesn't have one. Ziggler tells Mojo not to hurt himself, reaching for the brass ring when he walks off. Ambrose is still looking for Corbin backstage. Corbin attacks him out of nowhere with a pipe. Then Corbin keeps up the assault and gets on a forklift while Ambrose is under the forks. Corbin then lowers the forks and pins Ambrose down on the concrete. Referees run over to help Ambrose while Corbin retreats. They raise the forks off of Ambrose and calls for medical help. Then we cut to the ring, and out comes Mickie James with the SmackDown Women's Champion, Alexa Bliss, for the first ever Blissrotation in history. Then we go to commercial. Back from the break, Bliss welcomes us. She's going to announce her WrestleMania 33 opponents. She says it's not going to be Naomi because she's home injured. Bliss disses John Cena and says Nikki Bella, saying it won't be Nikki. It won't be Carmella or Becky Lynch. She calls Becky Chucky because how she keeps coming back no matter what. Bliss goes on, but the music interrupts, and out comes Becky with a mic. Becky tells Bliss to shut her face, Jericho style. Becky has an announcement of her own. Becky says that she's the woman that's going to beat Bliss and take back her title at WrestleMania. Natalia's music interrupts, and out she comes. Natalia says that she and Bliss are championship caliber, and Becky is not in their league. She says that she and Bliss came to an understanding last week. Bliss has to tell you if she got into some catnip because she's not getting a shot at WrestleMania. Bliss says Natalia is the worst there was, is and ever will be. They argue. Mickie grabs the mic and tells them to shut up. She says they're ruining a special moment where Bliss will announce who she will face at WrestleMania. Mickie says that's her. Bliss isn't sure. Mickie thought that they had a deal. Becky doesn't like that, and she's got a recent pins on Mickie. Natalia talks trash to Mickie. They all argue. Music hits, and out comes Daniel Bryan. Bryan says that he and Shane were listening to the Blissrotation and would grade it F. But Bliss says something they like. Bryan says Bliss will defend her title at WrestleMania against every available woman on the SmackDown roster. Then Bliss says that's not fair, and Bryan can't do that. Bryan says he can, and he just did it. That's literally his job. Bryan gives a shout out to the 2017 WWE Hall of Famer Teddy Long and makes it a tag team match. We go to commercial. Alexa Bliss and Mickie James versus Natalya and Becky Lynch. Back from the break, and Bliss trades slaps with Natalya to start off the match. Bliss eventually takes control and talks some trash. Natalya comes back and hits the basement drop kick for a 2 count. Becky and Mickie go at it. Bliss comes in and keeps up the attack on Becky. Bliss beats her down and covers her for a 2 count. Becky makes a comeback and unloads for a 2 count. Bliss goes on the floor for a breather. She screams about not needing this. Becky jumps off the apron and takes Bliss down on the floor. They bring it back in, and Bliss turns it around for a 2 count. Back to commercial. More back and forth, but by both teams after the match. It comes down to Becky and Mickie going at it. Natalya comes in and hits the German suplex on her partner. Fans boo as Natalya stares down at Becky and walks out on the match. Mickie tags in Bliss, who covers Becky for the win. After the match, Bliss raises the title as Mickey's arm as they stand in the middle of the ring. Mickie drops Bliss with a kick to the head with a mid kick. And Mickie takes the title and lays it over Bliss as her music plays. We get a look back at Corbin attacking Ambrose from earlier. Announcers discuss it and say Ambrose is suffering from bruised ribs, difficulties breathing, and he's coughing up blood. Phillips says he's been taken to a local medical facility. So to come, Orton versus Styles. Back from the break, we get a promo from Austin Aries to hype tonight's 205 Live. Number 1 contenders match, AJ Styles versus Randy Orton, which is your main event. Back from the break, out comes AJ Styles. The winner of this match will faces WWE Champion Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania. AJ welcomes us to SmackDown, the house that he built. Styles brags about ratings and how he took the B show to the show. But all he gets from Bryan and Shane is disrespect. AJ says Orton burns down a man's house and gets rewarded for it. Styles was built for WrestleMania, and no one will keep him from the greatest stage of them all. And making it phenomenal, not Bryan, Shane, or Orton. Music hits, and out comes Randy Orton. Back from the break, and a bell rings. They size each other up. AJ charges with a clothesline, but misses. Orton goes for an RKO, but it's blocked. AJ goes to the floor to regroup. AJ comes back in, and they lock up. Orton takes it to the corner, and they break. They lock up again, and AJ takes Orton down into a headlock. AJ keeps Orton grounded, but Orton fights out and hits a back suplex. AJ keeps a hold applied. Orton ends up dropping AJ with a shoulder. AJ with shoulders in the corner. AJ goes after Orton and whistles hard into the corner. Orton stomps on AJ now. Orton drops AJ over the top rope and covers for a 2 count. AJ comes back with some offense, but Orton launches him across the ring. They end up on the floor. Orton slams AJ's back over the barrier. Orton gets a pop. Orton rolls AJ back inside and follows up. AJ takes Orton's knee out as he re-enters the ring. Orton rolls to the floor, sells the knee injury as we go to commercial. Back from the break, AJ remains in control. AJ focuses on the knee, but Orton fights him off. They tangle, and Orton slams AJ to the mat. AJ kicks his legs and keeps Orton grounded. Orton makes a comeback and hits the power slam. Orton with a full Nelson slam for a 2 count. Orton ends up on AJ on the top turnbuckle. Orton goes for the superplex, but AJ slides out and pulls Orton's legs out. My feet goes out at that point. So I'm getting the results, the remaining of the results from the dirt sheets. Orton hits the turnbuckle chin first. AJ scoots Orton into a fireman's carry and slams him over his knee for a close 2 count. Orton blocks the Styles Clash. AJ gets sent to the apron. Orton catches AJ in the second rope, draping DDT, but it's blocked. AJ gets the calf crusher applied. The hold is broken as Orton made it to the rope. AJ charged, but Orton sidestepped out of the corner. Orton runs into a kick. AJ springboards up, but Orton knocks him off. Orton nails the draping DDT. AJ blocks the RKO with a Pele kick. AJ with more offense as AJ looks to go for a phenomenal forearm, but Orton catches him with an RKO in midair. AJ stomps and outsmarts Orton. AJ goes on, but gets caught by the RKO for the win. Well, my feet came back after all that. All I seen from that was Orton posing as SmackDown goes off during his pose. After the match, Orton stood tall. Like I said, he hit the corner for a replays. As AJ recovering on the ramp, the feed did not show him recovering, as it just went off the air with him posing. 205 Live. After SmackDown, the show was a bit of a train wreck, but by far the best match of the night at the hands of the cruiserweights, Neville and Gallagher, as you and I expected, took their opportunity and ran with it like crazy. Neville went on to have a very good match with Rich Swann on Monday night after defeating his new rival in Gentleman Jack and the last champ in Rich Swann. Is there anyone at Neville's level? Enter Austin Aries. 205 Live begins with a particular revelation that Double A has entered the battlefield. We will miss him on the commentary booth, of course, but he's truly the only viable threat to the king of the cruiserweights at the moment. It'll be a hell of a match at Mania. That match is for sure. Whenever they make it. Austin Aries' music hits and 205 Live kicks off for proper with the man himself. He has the biggest interview to date himself. Austin explains a lesson he remembers from grade school, that if you want to make a statement, you find the toughest guy in the room and you punch him in the face. And that's exactly why on my first day of his debut and what he did. Austin announces officially that he is done with commentary and is now an in-ring competitor. As the champion's music hits and out comes Neville. Neville says Aries isn't on his level, that he's not A level. Aries says he's not on Neville's level, and he's not on the A double level. Then Neville says that here comes trouble as the crowd rebels and several devils rebel. Neville makes a solid point about Aries skipping to the front of the line. The champ says that Aries hasn't exactly made friends while on commentary. Austin then shoots back with a promise that his mouth never makes checks. His ass can't cash. Good banner, mates. We're backstage now as Swan is teaching Gallagher to dance. Noam Dar appears, and now it's Club of Dudes Neville beat down recently. Although I guess that can be said about the whole 205 Live roster. Dar does his Alicia Fox thing. Gallagher and Swan ask him to leave. They return to Swan showing Gallagher about this hip-hop thing, as the gentleman says. No wonder these dudes can't beat Neville. You think that ornery bastard is backstage asking Mustafa Ali how to electric slide? No, he's watching tape. He's doing sit-ups with Tony Nese. He's practicing snarls. Match number 1, Noam Dar versus Ariel DeVary versus Jack Gallagher and Rich Swann. Noam Dar has been on a bit of a win streak lately. Gallagher and Swann are both coming off losses to Neville. Both sides need to win, so this is a fairly unpredictable match. DeVary is, how do I put this? God freaking awful at thigh slaps. Within moments, DeVary hits a big boot and hoists himself to the top rope in a seated position. Swann attacks with a jumping kick of his own. A groggy DeVary sits atop the turnbuckle. Swann jumps up, leaping Frankensteiner, but no, Dar has grabbed the leg of the area and stopped him from flipping. Swann crashes to the mat, and the heels take over. Dar's trunks, no role models. Dar also counts Finn Balor as a personal hero. The heels are in control for so long that the crowd, tired of seeing Swann beat on, starts chanting, "We want Jack." The pacey ginger is over. Dar and DeVary double team Jack, a blind tag by Swann to a running Jack, who ducks under a double clothesline. Jack headbutts area, followed up with a running dropkick. Swann is the legal man as he goes up to the top rope. Phoenix splash. 1, 2, 3. So Rich Swann and Jack Gallagher defeated Noam Dar and Ariel DeVary. So not all unpredictable in the end. Not only does Dar not pick up the win, but he doesn't even get protected either. He actually got pinned. So, after the match, the flower delivery man is back. He has a heart-shaped box of chocolates. Dar grabs the mic, screams at an old boy that he's late, and snatches the chocolates away and gives them to Alicia himself. Customers like Dar are the worst. Backstage, Mr. I'm Face Frick, Tom Phillips, has a mic in Kendrick's face. Brian trash talks Tozawa, says that if Akira wants to fight Brian Kendrick, Akira is going to get a fight with Brian Kendrick. It's kind of amazing that only an hour of programming, 205 Live is able to have multiple feuds, all of which develop week by week, all of which are accomplishing different narratives on separate tiers. Pretty great. Match number 2, Akira Tozawa versus Brian Kendrick. Though Brian Kendrick is out to teach Akira another lesson. Always read the fine print. Though Brian Kendrick explained that Tozawa asked for a match with Brian Kendrick, but not the Brian Kendrick. Out comes portly pink pantsed hipster dude who looks more like brewmaster than a wrestler. Brian gets him offense in, but not much. Tozawa is quickly able to hit the Cicerone with the snap jumper for 1, 2 to 3. Oh, Akira squashes Brian Kendrick. That was funny and interesting. Nice, simple advancement of their feud. Neville is backstage getting interviewed. He says Austin Aries is going to regret his career decision. Neville harps on Austin's perceived and disrespectful commentary. Seems like Neville was really hurt by Austin's words. Poor Neville. Match number 3, Austin Aries versus Tony Nese. And so begins Aries' rise to a title shot. His first test is Tony Nese and his abs. Collar and elbow tie-up start the match. Two dudes in the crowd on a dedicated quick clap. Austin Aries chant. Good job, fellas. Austin goes for the ground game offense. Whirlwinding around a prone Tony Nese before locking in a side headlock. Nese gets free, but gets taken down with a pair of deep arm drags. Nese gets some leverage and locks in a leg lock. Austin breaks a hold with a headstand escape and nails a drop kick right to the face of Tony Nese. Tony says Aries doesn't belong here, and I tend to agree. Aries still feels like in WWE. He's so synonymous with the Ring of Honor TNA scene, he really doesn't seem like he belongs in WWE. Of course, Tony Nese doesn't seem like he belongs either. Nese seems like the kind of younger dude who's dating your 45-year-old recently divorced aunt who's really into Pilates. Tony tosses Aries out of the ring. Nese taunts the crowd and studies his bicep. He cartwheels on the side ring apron, drops to the outside, and super kicks Aries. You want to drop ahead of us? Says Nese, speaking for him and his abs. Aries is getting worked up at his talking trash. Tony tosses his opponent around. Cartwheel by Aries leads to a clothesline. A dude in the crowd who came to the show alone surely chants delete, delete, delete. Schoolboy roll-up by Aries leads to an impressive feat of strength when Nese lifts Austin with one arm and powerbombs Double A. Tony is playing a terrific foil for Austin's first match. Nese then sent to the outside. Aries takes off like a missile to the outside, crashing awkwardly against Nese and the barricade. Aries measures Nese, bounces off the ropes, a roaring elbow. He decapitates Tony, goes for the pin. 1, 2, and 3. Really good 205 live debut for a double. Never been a big fan of Aries, again by the reporter, but his time in the booth will prove to be invaluable in getting him over as an in-ring talent. WWE should take note of this and make the injured superstar get behind the mic. A useful thing. All in all, a solid 205 live with a really good main event and 3 matches that advertise 3 separate storylines. Can't ask for much more about a 52-minute show. What'd you think of Austin Aries' debut? Would you rather him be in the ring or in the booth? Where do you want to see Jack Gallagher go after losing his feud with Neville? Do you think the cruiserweights will only have one match on an already jam-packed WrestleMania card? If so, how many cruisers do you see being an Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal? Okay, if you missed Impact Wrestling this past Thursday night, Alberto El Patron made his Impact Wrestling debut to a surprising quiet reaction. His entrance was actually a reshot due to a production error and was completely different than the live taping. Wrestling Inc. reader sent in the results of Lynn Butterworth. The original entrance had a big error with the video wall reading Alberto De Patron instead of Alberto El Patron. Thus, they retaped his entrance, which is why you can't hear or see the audience as he came down the ramp. At the taping, he reacted to the massive pop that he received by milking his presence on the stage and greeting fans as he made his way down the ramp. And also, Lynn sent a photo of production error, which I can show you in the video here, the picture there for you, which was edited off the broadcast. And that concludes my SmackDown 205 Live results. Thanks again. Peace out. See you one other video. If you don't know, just call me, brothers and sisters.